From across the pond, this is Off the Record with Big C.
And without my trusty, I was going to say without my stinky companion now, but without my trusty companion, Stinky Pete, as he is, I don't know where he is. He's being mysterious. I think he might be working or doing something anyway. So in his place, welcome back again. A very welcome, always entertaining to have him on the show. Stinky Pete, younger, better looking, and
Definitely.
lesser suit. Younger brother is Jazzy Jeff. So hi, Jazz. Thanks very much
Good to
for
see you.
coming in, or not coming in, but being on. You're not coming in anywhere because you're sitting
Well,
in
I'm not
your.
going anywhere because I live
No,
here.
you live here. Yeah, I know. It's good fun with all your guitars in the background.
All my guitars, yeah.
So we are streaming live on Facebook and also on Twitter as we speak. So if you don't want to watch us on Facebook Live, you can get off to X, whatever it's called these
Does
days.
anyone actually care what it's called apart from Elon?
Probably just Elon. I mean,
And does anyone care what Elon thinks?
Yeah, we were discussing this last week on the show with Stinks actually, because I mentioned X and the fact that we're on X, and we thought, well, I tweeted something. I said, oh, do we still tweet if it's on X?
Do you exit? Because that would be on the way out, wouldn't it?
That would be on the way out, yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe we excrete. I think
Oh, even better.
I think excrete. So there, if you want to check out our excretions on Twitter, please do. And sad news this week musically. Since you were last on, you were on a couple of weeks ago, weren't you? We lost Paul Buckler. Tim.
Yes.
What's his name?
The jam drummer.
Yeah. His first name's escaped me. Is it Paul? No, it's Paul Butler. And Stuart and Bruce Foxton and Rick Butler. Oh, dear, had a momentary senile moment there. Rick Butler of the Jam, the drummer. We had a jam show, didn't we? The Jam, the Clash.
We did a couple of weeks earlier.
So that timed it. I don't know whether that's timed it well or badly, but and of course yesterday, sad news of the passing of Roberta Flack.
Awful. And in an awful way as well. I mean, there's awful ways to die, and mutant neurosis is one of the worst. So
yeah,
it's not
it
nice.
doesn't bear thinking about, does it?
No.
I mean, I say Parkinson's isn't the best. Any form of dementia. I mean, it's just make the most of what you can do. You never know when it's going to strike, do you? Anyway, that's a bad way to start this show. And we're not going to talk.
She was some rare talent. She really was.
She was a good singer. I opened the show actually this morning on the radio, on CBW radio, with my personal favourite of hers, which is First Time Ever I Saw Your Face.
Yes, beautiful.
Which is such a good song. I noticed Billboard. No, is it Billboard? No, Rolling Stone did a post. They excreted on X, and they. And they claimed that First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, one of her penned songs. And I think no, she didn't write that song. Actually, it was Ewan McCall that wrote that song.
Kirsty's dad.
Kirsty's dad, yeah. Even Killing Me Softly, I don't think she wrote that either, did she?
That was
I can't remember who it was.
Is it a Willie Nelson song?
I don't think it is. No. I don't know. Maybe you're thinking of Always on My Mind.
Well, that is a Willie Nelson song.
Yeah, well. Right, okay.
Anyway,
so,
here we are.
We've got, here we are again. This is Off the Record, as you probably know already. And it's Series 6, and it's episode 100. No, sorry, it's Series 6, number 14, episode 14. Overall, that is 154 episodes we've had.
That's going some, isn't it?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Well.
The topic that we got today to discuss, we sort of did one a while ago, but looking at the records, it looks like it was like 4 years ago.
Oh.
So things could well have changed, and Stinks was on that one. And obviously he's not around to this one. So we got a little bit more, a different input. And the theme is one-hit wonders. Okay, so the definition of a one-hit wonder is a tricky one, isn't it?
Well, so we were talking about this, texting about it earlier in the week.
Yeah.
And one of the other things that you said to me was, or songs which people are the only song that people are known by.
Yes.
And actually, that got me thinking, because if you're a fan of a band, then you know everything they've done,
Exactly.
regardless of whether it's a hit or not. But if you are like me, like general public, and you don't know all the details in and out of an awful lot of stuff, then actually there's a lot of people who have got a song to which, let me give you an example, which is going to blow your head, so please forgive me.
Yep.
George Harrison.
Right. Okay. So
Right.
presumably you're thinking, My Sweet Lord.
My Sweet Lord. If you go to Mr. and Mrs. Public and say George Harrison song without the Beatles, like 9.5%, like out of 10 of them are going to go, well, he's only ever done one. It's My Sweet Lord.
Mm.
Just to balance the books, if it was yes, you might get Wondrous Stories. You might.
Yeah,
exactly.
Probably Joe Public on the street. Yeah, they might not know that one, but yeah, that was. Oh, what was the other? They had another big hit as well.
Yours Is No Disgrace was the other single.
Yeah, no, was it? No, there was another big, a more sort of commercial one. Something about breaking your heart when it only. No, well, Stinks isn't even here, and we're talking about Yes. I mean,
Well,
this can't.
I thought I'd better balance the books because we mentioned the Beatles.
We've done the
I'll get
Beatles.
it out of the way early.
Yes, I've gotcha. Good planning, good thinking, Batman.
So all of that sort of stuff, you go, they're not one-hit wonders because they've got masses of catalogue behind them.
Yep.
But to the general populace, actually, they may well be in their minds.
This would cover so many different artists. I mean, I've written down some of those, I think, on my list here
Right.
to throw in probably at the end. Ones that, because it's difficult. If I like a band, like you said yourself, there are a few bands I think I really like their stuff, and I've got 2 or 3 albums by them, and so many singles that I've got by them as well. And I love the album tracks, I love the songs, but in general, the public, Joe Public, will think of one big hit. And I mean, I've thought of one. I sort of put a real question mark by it as well because I love the single, and it's probably one of my favourite singles of all time. I'm thinking A Whiter Shade of Pale. If you ask someone Procol Harum, Procol Harum, they're not going to pick Homburg or A Salty Dog or Conquistador or what's a big Pandora's Box or whatever it was.
I knew a girl called
Come
Pandora.
out with A Whiter Shade of Pale.
That was from Notting Hill, wasn't it? I knew a girl called Pandora once.
Oh yeah, I knew a girl called Pandora once. Yeah, never got to see her box though.
I never got to see her box. No, but you're absolutely right. That there are very few actually bands who the public will go, oh yeah. Do you remember Ken Bruce on Radio 2 used to do a 3-in-1? You got to get the bonus thing at the end of the
Yeah,
quiz.
I did. Yeah.
Really difficult to do. Really, because you all go, oh, My Sweet Lord. And then you go, he must have had some other hits. He must have done. Well, he did. But
we did, yeah.
But you can't think of them because
they're
not My Sweet Lord.
He didn't have one bigger. He didn't have a bigger than that.
No, and there's a lot of people like that. There's not many people like Springsteen or Dolly or whoever who've got a plethora of hits that you can just go, oh yeah, and that was Neil Diamond, and that was Neil Diamond, and that was Neil Diamond. You know?
Yeah. I know.
Anyway,
but
so I had some fun with this.
Yeah, if you know the artist, I mean, I try to look up what the definition of a one-hit wonder is. In my youth, or not just in my youth, actually, not that long ago, probably yesterday, Guinness Book of Hit Singles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was compiled by the esteemed lyricist Tim Rice and the esteemed disc jockey Paul Gambaccini. Is he still with us?
Who is a genius?
Yeah, he is a genius. Both of them, and they defined a one-hit wonder. This is one way of looking at it, as an artist who had a number 1 single, and not a single other chart hit. And I've got a few of those in here actually.
I've got a couple of those.
So they didn't make, in other words, a chart hit in the UK will be the top 75. If
Right,
it
okay.
finishes at 76, it isn't a
Yeah.
hit. But if it makes a 75, it will be in the Guinness Book of Hit Single or the Virgin Book of Hit Singles as it is now. Yeah. So yeah, that was their definition of it, and I've got
I'm just
a few of
looking. I've
those.
got a few that got to number one,
Yes.
but most of the ones that I've got didn't even get to number one.
No, I mean not all of mine got to number one, but most of them I would say they're either their only hit, or as you say, others I've thrown in that yeah they're generally known for that particular hit. I just on Wikipedia actually. It says and a one-hit wonder is an entity who'd like to be called an entity, an artist
An artist.
that achieves mainstream popularity after often for only one piece of work and becomes known among the general public solely for that momentary success.
Which is pretty much where I've come from with this. And I
Yeah.
mean, I haven't actually put this in my list. He's one of my ones at the end, but I did promise you yesterday that I will get his name in there.
And I
So
can
like
tell you that I know who it is. Yeah,
Mr. Chesney.
Chesney Hawkes.
So he is the archetypal one-hit wonder,
Yep.
because he's done nothing else. Well, I mean, he has done stuff, but like nothing anyone ever knows, and he's quite happy to live on that reputation.
Why not?
Well, absolutely, why not? It's
If
it's the
only
music.
he wrote the song, he'd get even more money out of it, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
That's the thing, because it
it's the
was a Nick
music and lyrics
Kershaw song.
film thing, isn't it?
It's a Nick Kershaw song, and who's actually on it. He actually plays guitar on it, and I think it featured in Buddy's song. The either was it the film or was it the show?
No.
But yeah, but he got to number one. Spent 5 weeks at number one
Yeah,
actually in
and it's a
'91.
good pop song.
It is a
It's
great pop
a
song.
good pop
Yeah.
song. You know.
I am the one and only. And I'll just scribble note here. What else did it say? Can include acts with greater success outside their lone hit and who are not typically considered one-hit wonders. While at the same time, possibly excluding acts who have multiple hits which have been overshadowed by one signature song. So we're
Which
sort
is
of embracing all of it, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is the George Harrison moment, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Fancy that.
Okay.
George
So
Harrison only.
how do you want to do this, Carl?
Well, we're just going to run through them. A lot of the one, we'll take it in turns. I mean, if how many have you got? A whole bunch?
I've got 10 or 11, I think, and then I've
Yep.
got a couple of
Okay.
throw-ins at the end.
And the throw-ins at the end. Okay. Well, we'll just do the usual routine of
We'll just
a lot of one-hit wonders in the UK. Before we start, then would be what we would say. I think it's quite inherently a British chart thing.
well,
It's the novelty hits.
it is that there's a lot of those, and I haven't gone for any of the Grandad's, Ernie's, Shut Up Or Your Gobs, whatever it might be.
Yeah, shut up in your face. I thought you'd go for Benny Hill, Ernie, because that's
I
one of your.
love Ernie, but no, I haven't, because
All right, okay. Well, they always mentioned
because
it.
all of those novelty things are pretty much that they're just. Are they hits? Yeah, they are hits, but they're
They are. They're number one
they
hits.
Are. Yeah, they are, and I didn't really, but no, I haven't gone
Benny,
for any of those.
Benny Hill. I mean, for example, yeah, number one hit. He didn't have any others, as far as I'm
No.
aware.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, thankfully. Thank the Lord. Was that another George Harrison hit?
It was.
Wouldn't be surprised. No, it's a sad day that we're missing out Benny Hill, though, I would say. Generally, those one-hit wonders and the novelty hits are at Christmas, though, of course.
They are.
And
You get a lot
yeah,
of Christmas.
because at Christmas time, people buy records that don't normally buy records.
No, that's right. They buy for someone else, which is even better.
And they often buy it for somebody else. Look, Johnny, what I've bought you.
Oh, good, Grandad, thank you. My granddad wouldn't buy me an album once. What was it? Joan
Wasn't
Baez,
Bob
Come
Harris,
from the
was it?
Shadows. I asked for Joan Baez, Come from the Shadows, and he wouldn't buy it because it got a lady sticking two fingers up on the front, and he didn't approve.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Quite
Anyway,
right, too.
I've never owned it.
Quite right, too.
It's my nemesis. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Doesn't matter.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'll come
Press
back
on.
to it.
We're going to avoid a lot of these one-hit wonder novelty songs. But I said that it's generally a UK thing. I
Well,
think
no, that's what I was going to say. It's also an older thing, because if you look at the charts nowadays and for the last 15, 20 years, really, like there are so many one hit Do we call them wonders? There's so many people who come in, like it's DJ Spoonie Match, and with such and such and such and such, and featuring someone who you've never heard of,
Produced
and
by
it gets
Mark
number
Ronson.
one for half a week, and then it goes away
Yes.
again. And there's so many of those.
Yeah, modern ones. I haven't even gone anywhere near. I wouldn't touch them with the proverbial
I
barge
think
pole.
my most modern one is 1995. I was very proud of myself.
Well done. Thinks we're big proud. He couldn't stand the 90s. I keep saying, well, we'll move on in a second. Yeah, the quiz last night. What a nightmare. We've had a few quizzes. We've won a few.
You
The
have?
last 4 quizzes, we've won 3, and we had a runners up. Last night, I did predict that we're going to have to come down with a bump. I mean, we won the New Year one. That was the first one we won. But I put that down to the fact that everybody else was drunk.
Yeah.
So it really helped. It helped me, at least, to get some right. But no, they always have a music round. And last week, we won, and it was they had a 70s music round. So Joker, straight on that.
Yeah,
Double
that makes it
points.
easier.
Thank you very much. Good night. This week it was 90s. This was last night. 90s. 90s. I know. I was getting all my Spice Girls and my S Club 7s and my Destiny's Child. I was getting my knickers in a knot with all of
Well,
those.
they're all the same people, aren't they? Don't they just
Yeah,
swap
I
one
just
to another?
listened to them all. Apart from the last song, which was Sit Down by James,
Okay.
that was a decent one. The rest, disposable.
Now, this is interesting because if you'd asked me, I'd have said that was the 80s.
What, Sit
Yeah.
Down by James? Yeah, very early 90s, to be fair. I think it was
Yeah.
91. I'll Take That was another one.
I
said
like
on the
Take
radio.
That.
I
Like,
said it-
hands up, to be perfect. I like Take That.
I don't mind Take That.
They were
The
good.
very early stuff I wasn't so keen on. It's a bit too disco-y for me, and
I know what
dancey.
you mean.
Well, and actually, you realise Gary Barlow's actually a great songwriter,
He's
and
a songwriter.
they did play one of them last night. Pray. I think it was their
Yeah.
first number one.
Yeah. He's got no nuts. His voice is ridiculously high.
No,
Try singing and Take That song. It's almost impossible.
oh really?
Oh, man alive. He's got such a high voice.
Next time I play, I Take That song. Back for Good is a great song.
That is a great song. And
And
he
we
made
got
a lot of money out of Robbie Williams taking the mick out of it.
Yes, indeed.
Huge amount of money.
We knew it was going to be a bad night last night when we had a Beatles lyric question, and I didn't get it. I mean, how embarrassing is that? It's not like I'm a fan or anything. I know.
Did you work out what it was afterwards?
My son will never forget me. Never forgive me. I'll tell you what it was. It was we danced through the night and we held each other tight.
Danced through the night, we held each other tight.
You see where I was at? You think what? Because I was thinking, oh, yeah, it's going to be a single. They're not going to throw in an album.
I know this. I know what song it is.
Yeah. Okay. That's exactly where I was. I know what it is.
I'll play it.
What is it?
I'll
Sarah
play it
was
on the
singing
bass.
it to me. To go. If I say the next line, you'll get it.
Just 17?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the song. I saw her standing there.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I saw her standing there, but that was one of the lines. She was just 17. The only line not written by McCartney. That was a John Lennon line. He threw that in.
Did he?
As a matter of
Good old
interest,
boy.
yeah.
Good old
'Cause
boy,
he-
that John Lennon.
Macca had a line something like she wasn't a beauty queen or something to
Right,
rhyme.
okay.
Well, she was just 17. No, she was just 17. No, his line was after that. She was just
If you know
17.
what I mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He put that in because she was no beauty queen, or she was a beauty queen. Right, shall we get on with these one-hit wonders? Come on, let's
Go on then.
do it. Do you want to start or shall I start?
Yeah, go on. Then let me start with this one because this made me laugh really. So this song, one hit wonder.
Yeah.
For two different people. Same song, one hit wonder, two different people. One of them in 1969, one of them in 1986.
I will add further to this. I take your 2 number ones for the same song and raise you a 3rd number one for the same song because I think I've got it on my list as well.
Okay,
If
I
I'm
didn't know
thinking
there's
the
a
same
third one.
song, it was
Okay.
it was number 1 3 times.
Yeah. Like
Same
two different
song,
people.
but different artists. First one,
Oh no, I know who the other one was, but he's had other hits as well.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't call them necessarily one-hit wonders. I suppose Doctor and the Medics you're talking about. You're talking
Yeah,
about Spirit in the Sky.
Spirit of the Sky, Norman Greenbaum,
Yes,
who is noted everywhere as a one-hit wonder. He wrote
absolutely,
it.
and that's on my list here.
He wrote it. Rolling Stone, 333rd greatest song of all time,
And it's a
and
one-hit wonder.
and the second most requested song after My Way, I think, to be used in funerals.
Spirit in the Sky, really.
This guy. But there you go. So yes, Norman Greenbaum in '69, Doctor and the Medics in '86. Didn't Gareth Gates take his number one as well?
Yeah, with the Kumars, it's like a comedy. It's probably a comic relief or
Right. Okay.
children in need. It's a charity
Something
record,
of
I
that.
think.
Yeah, of
But
that nature. Yeah.
the
Yeah. I
Kumars
forgot about that.
and Gareth Gates, yeah. Well, it's probably one-hit wonder for the Kumars. I doubt whether they had too many others. That's
Yeah,
Sanjeev
probably,
Bhaskar, isn't it? I think.
yeah, Bashir, whatever his name is. Yeah.
That's him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's funny. He's
Okay.
a funny man,
He is
isn't
a funny guy.
he?
Yeah, so I've
So
got
yeah.
Spirit in the Sky. I seem to recall, 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it was, Stinky Pete might have had the same. He had Spirit in the Sky. So you're in psyched together.
That what it is. That
It's
would
one of
bother me
those.
more than this. That would bother me intensely, really.
Oh,
If I
sorry to mention it.
no,
Uh,
it's
it
fine.
it's got this sort of obvious intro, hasn't it? It's one of those where you hear the first few bars, uh,
Oh,
you know what it is, don't you?
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's a
Spirit in the
great
Sky.
song. It's a
It
really
is.
good song. And I
Norman
guess if you
Greenbaum.
write a song that good, we're talking back to White Shade of Pale. How do you do that again? If you write a song that's as good as this one is, how on earth do you do it twice? Unless you're Paul McCartney and John Lennon,
Oh,
or
yeah,
someone
true.
of that nature.
Particularly, yeah, true. Particularly Paul McCartney, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's quite a religious song, obviously, with the.
Well, but he's Jewish.
Yes, he's Jewish, but he's mentioned Jesus all the time, isn't
Yeah,
he? And
yeah.
yeah,
He swears blind because this is about the only one I did any background on.
yeah, yeah.
He swears blind that he didn't really know what he was writing at the time.
No,
Okay, so I'm assuming in 1969 that was an acid thing, but
possibly so. Yeah,
other options might be available. I don't know.
yes. It was a number one here in 1970, but it was obviously fairly early in 1970. Um, all right. Did you have another one, or was those two
No,
locking
well,
together?
no, I've got loads of others, but
Right.
no, let's stay there. You carry on, and we'll come
I'll
back to me.
stay around because we're in that sort of ballpark of
Okay.
1970 when Spirit in the Sky was a number one. And I'm going to bracket a couple here together, actually.
Okay.
The first number one, we'll see if you can guess what it is. It was the first number one, first new number one, I think probably probably Benny Hill, actually. The aforementioned Benny Hill might have been number one before it. I don't know. Or was it in 1970? I can't remember. But anyway, it was the first new number one of the 70s.
Ooh.
He even got to his number 5 in the US, but they didn't have any other hits. There's one particular guy who sang on this record. He was a session singer,
Mhm.
and he not only sang on this hit, but he sang on 3 or 4 other hits as well, some of which I may have included. In fact, the next one I will. So what I think it's one of the great pop songs, so sing along, and it is. If I say the song title, you probably. If I tell you the band,
Go
I
on
mean, it
then.
wasn't a real band. I think he wanted to sing it on his own, but the writer, Tony McCauley, refused. So it became a hit. So Tony Burrows was the name of the singer. Does that name ring a bell? That's not the band. That's the session singer. You might know of him. But he had to find a band to perform with him on Top of the Pops. The band was called the Greenfield Hammer, apparently. And so he did perform on Top of the Pops. The band was called Edison Lighthouse.
Oh, love grows where my rosemary
Love
goes.
grows where my
It's a
rosemary
great
goes.
song.
It is a great song. It's such a happy song, isn't it?
There's a swathe of them that all came out at the same sort of time. Honey Bus,
Yep.
and an Edison Lighthouse, and the one about No One Promised Me a Rose Garden, and all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
They were all very similar style of pop song.
Yeah. They sort of verging on country then in that case with
Version on country, but they were
certainly with
just good. They were, yeah,
Lynn Anderson and Rose Garden.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a country song. I think it was Joe South that wrote that one. But yeah, Love Grows, Where My
Oh,
Roses Grows.
Gross, yeah.
Number one it was in the UK, and the singer was Tony Burrows. Now, this guy, Tony Burrows, had previously been on, this won't be one of mine, but I'll mention it anyway, was previously the harmony singer, one of the two singers, along with the composer of the song, John Carter, of a 1967 number four hit, and they too had no other hit records. And
Okay.
if I said Bill and Ben, does that
The Flower Pots,
the
the
Flower
Flower
Pot
Pot Men.
Men
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the song, it's about traveling to a western US city in the southwest of the US, where it's
I
quite
know.
hilly,
Yeah, I
quite
won't get
hilly.
this. I won't get this
Let's
quick
go,
enough.
let's go
Let's go to
to
San Francisco.
Let's go to San Francisco,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
was a singer on that as well. But he also sang on around the same time. I think he was probably in the Guinness Book of Records, actually. I think he appeared on Top of the Pops for three different artists, which is
On the
pretty
same day.
apparently so, because he was
That's
also singing on a White Plains record, My Baby Loves Loving.
that's a great song.
He loves loving. Dun, 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 dun.
Was he in White Plains?
He was either in White Plains or he
Because
sang on
White
it.
Plains, When You Are a King, was the first single I ever got.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
There you have it, Tony Burrows. And what's the other one? It was the Pipkins. Do you remember that one?
No.
Give me that ding, give me that,
Oh yeah, I
give me
remember
that,
that.
give me that ding,
Didn't know it was a thing.
give me that ding. It was by
Thing.
the Pipkins, which is Tony Burrows and Roger Greenaway. They were the two of
So,
them, the Pipkins. That was a number
so
six hit. Obviously, they didn't have any other hits at all. And what was the other? Oh, Brotherhood of Man. He sang on United We Stand as well. But the other one, which is clearly a Tony Burrows singing again, which is a fantastic pop single. A few years later, 1974,
mhm.
on the UK record label, which is Jonathan King's label, or was.
Okay.
Got to number 10, yeah. We're steady on. Well, we've already mentioned Rolf Harris. Now maybe we'll mention. All we got is Jimmy Savile left now. Number 10 in the UK, so not a number one, but their only hit. It was a higher hit in the States, actually, number four. Canada, he got to number one. And this was a sort of almost a friendly pastiche of Brian Wilson, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was sang by Tony Burrows in like an American accent, reflecting the song's California setting. Um, I
Do I
don't know
know
what
this?
else to say without give it away. Um, there were two instrumental quotations. Is that the right word? Both on a French horn during the song. One was the main theme for Sibelius, is it, or
Australians.
Sibelius's
Australians. Yeah.
Fifth Symphony?
Yeah.
And Sibelius's estate sued for that, and they won, and consequently won half of the song's proceeds. And the other song played on the horn in the fade out of the song, ironically, was the song we just mentioned. A little bit of the title line from "Let's Go to San Francisco" as it faded out. The song, Beach Baby.
Oh really?
Tony Burrows. He sang that. He sang Love Grows. He sang Let's Go to San Francisco, Beach Baby, Beach Baby. And I just think that's one of the great pop singles.
It's a great. I thought that was I thought it was Barry Blue or something like that.
No, it wasn't
It's
Barry
not.
Blue. But Barry Blue, I suppose his music sounded a bit like that, didn't it?
Well,
Dancing on a Saturday night.
I don't know what I'm talking about, which is not uncommon.
But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, Barry Blue, I could imagine him doing it, but no, it wasn't. It was Tony Burrows, who's still with us
Well,
today, actually. He's still around. I don't know
fantastic.
what he's doing now, but yeah. So that's my Tony
Wasn't
Burrows.
there? Go back to Cook and Greenaway. Wasn't there one week when every single one of the top 10 was a Cook Greenaway song?
Wouldn't be surprised. They did write a lot
I
of
think there
songs.
was something like it's something of that nature. Yeah. And then it all became Chin and Chapman after that, didn't it?
It did. Well,
They sort
Gimme
of like,
That Ding was actually Albert Hammond and Mike Hazelwood's song, and they
oh,
also wrote a lot of songs
they
together.
did. They did. They did.
Since you mentioned it earlier on, I'll just throw it in because it sort of fits in from the Summer of Love. Well, actually, a little bit later, March '68. You mentioned it, Honey Bus. I've got that down because I
That-
just love that record. It should
It's
have been
great.
bigger than it was. Should have been massive. Only got to number
Yeah.
8. I can't
Is
let
that
Maggie
all?
go. Yeah, number 8. But it didn't get anywhere else.
And it
And
became a Nimble advert. Do you remember that?
it became a Nimble advert. Yeah, she flies like a bird in the
Nimble
sky.
bread. What was that about? That was like
Oh,
bread with nothing in it.
yes, something like that.
It's like, what's the point of this
It
bit of
was
bread?
so
There is
light,
none.
it flew away.
It did
Yes.
float away. It's exactly what it did.
So
That's
I
a
can't let
great
Maggie
song.
go. I had to sort of throw that one in as well. Right, have you got another one then? Let's have another
Yeah,
one.
let's come bang up to date as far as I can get. So
Oh, 95.
1995. 1995.
Give us a
American
clue.
band, number 5 in the US, number 1 in England, in the UK. Uh,
Ooh.
what can I tell you about it? That's I haven't got very much of it.
Is it a female?
No, it's a band.
It's a band.
It's a band.
No,
I
I
think
was
they
thinking,
produced 3 albums altogether. This was off their debut. But the 3 are strung over about 10, 12 years, and they fell apart in between each one because they couldn't work with each other half the time, and then no one knew what anyone else was doing. And this will be in my top 20 songs. It's absolutely brilliant. It's it's a ballad that has a corking guitar, sort of like a chord guitar run in it, which is just fabulous. You'll know this. I can't give you. It's named after a film. There you go.
no, I should be able to get it really, but I'm feeling a bit dense like I was at the quiz last night. I think it's hanging over from that quiz, not getting a beat or lyric. It dented my confidence.
I know what you mean. So yeah, it's an Audrey Hepburn film.
Oh, Deep Blue Something
Deep Blue something. Breakfast at
with,
Tiffany's.
of course, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah. What a great song. Like
It is a
what
good
a
song.
great song. And they just couldn't do it again.
Not a bad film either, to be fair.
It's a very good film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
disappointed to hear that she didn't actually sing on it, though.
did she not?
Audrey Hepburn, I don't think, no.
I didn't know that.
I don't think so. Was she also in, oh, maybe, she was in My Fair Lady as well, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, she didn't sing on that for sure. That was the one of the singing nuns in The Sound of Music that sang.
Oh, really?
I can't
I
think
love
of
the
her
sound of
name.
music.
You do it or you do like it?
It's my favourite film.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. How do you solve a problem like Maria?
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't remember her name. We're going well with this, aren't we?
No,
I'm
well,
gonna
I
look
wouldn't
that
have a
up.
clue what the names were anyway. But like, I stopped at Julie Andrews because I was just so desperately in love that it didn't make any difference.
Oh, fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Well, in my youth, it went on quite a while, didn't it? Sound of Music, but
It's
it was a great
it's
film.
been
Still
around for a
is.
long, long time.
Still is a great film.
It is a great film.
Do you get
It's
ridiculed for liking it as well?
huh?
Do you get ridiculed for liking it as
Oh,
well?
huge amounts,
Yeah.
huge amounts. Like ripped to pieces for it. But do I care? I've got broad
Oh,
shoulders. Look.
do you, Buffalo? No.
Do I Buffalo? Anyway, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Breakfast at Tiffany's, Deep Blue
They
something.
blew
Yeah.
something. So they it was off their album Home, which is the first album they did.
Yes.
But I can't remember what the name of the guy was because I should have looked it up and I didn't. But the main guy in it was apparently was very, very difficult to work with, and that caused the issues. He couldn't ever get anything right. He wanted to get it, you know.
I presume he wrote the song.
I I
I
I
would
should have
guess.
done more
No,
into this,
I
but
guess. I guess he did.
it's he
If
probably
so,
did.
he's quite happy, I'm sure. Just living on the royalties of that, because that must win quite a few.
It must do, yeah. It's on an awful lot of compilation albums as well.
It's songs written by someone called Todd Pipes. Now, whether
There were
he's
two of
American,
them. They were brothers. That's right. They're Todd and someone else pipes. There were two brothers in it.
Exhaust. Yes,
Yeah.
it's lesser brother.
It's the brothers exhaust and the bagpipes.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I can't find another pipes. Oh, Todd and Toby, of course.
There you go.
course.
Yeah, their mum didn't like him, did they?
From Texas, in fact.
Of course they were.
Who knew? Who knew?
So maybe it was the fact that the brothers could work together and couldn't work with anyone else. I don't know. There was a story behind it that I remember being told, but I can't remember exactly what it was.
That's good anecdote, Jeff. Good anecdote.
We have a friend. So you might know this. Pete and I both have a friend
Yeah.
whose courtesy cousin, whose courtesy uncle is Roger Cook.
Right, okay.
And he's in the business, and he tells me all sorts of stories about all sorts of things, and bits stick and other bits just fade away.
No.
But there we go. So I remember him telling me something about this, and I can't remember what it was.
It's called old age. It's called old age.
It's called not listening to your friends when they're talking to you.
Maybe so, yeah. So yeah, good shout.
Good song.
And very contemporary for you.
I know.
Only 30 years old. I mean, let's be fair.
That really
it shouldn't be right, should it? Shouldn't be right.
That's just ridiculous.
No. What's even more ridiculous that in 5 years, 1980 will be 50 years ago. I mean, that's not right, is it?
No.
No, it's not going on there? What is going on there?
Oh, it's absolutely not right.
Right. Okay. Shall I throw another one in?
Yeah. Go for it.
I've got a few around that era, actually. I don't want to just stick with the same era or go elsewhere, but I just feel a lot of these classic singles from the late 60s, a lot of them were. Now, this band, if I say to you straight away, number one in both sides of the Atlantic, 4 weeks in the States, 8 weeks here in 1969 in the UK. A fictitious band.
Okay.
You probably know it, do you?
It's going to be it's the film guys.
It's from
Pour some sugar on me or whatever it is.
What's it called? Sorry,
Pour some sugar on me or whatever it's called.
Sugar.
Sugar.
The
So
Archies. The Archies. Yeah, the Archies from the Archie comics, apparently. And
that was Jonathan King as well, wasn't it?
No, that wasn't Jonathan King. This will be in the States, and I wouldn't have thought he got involved over there. This was co-written by Jeff Barry, who, to be fair, co-wrote a lot of mighty fine tunes, a lot with Spectre. Things like Do Ron Ron and Do What Diddy Diddy, and other song titles that meant something.
Have you ever seen Stripes, the film?
Yes, with Bill Murray.
To Do What Diddy.
Oh yes, brilliant. I've got a couple of clips from Stripes. I might have to throw that one in one day on radio. River Deep Mountain High. I mean, he co-wrote that, and he also co-wrote this Sugar, with Andy Kim, who himself you could call a one-hit wonder.
He was a one-hit.
He had a hit, Rock Me Gently.
Rock Me Gently, yeah, Rock Me Slowly.
In 1974. So that was probably a lot bigger in the States than it was here, but still a one-hit wonder, I would say, Andy Kim. But he co-wrote this Sugar, and performed on it as well. And I would say this is one of the, as Gambaccini and Tim Rice would say, was the definite one-hit wonder, because it was number one in the UK and they didn't have any other form of hit. So that sort of counts as one of those, and
it definitely does. It definitely does. Okay, shall I
go on?
All right, we're going to go. No, I love this one. This is one of my. I like this song. It's a great song. Number one in the States. Number 23 over here. Oh,
slacker.
American Dad, English Mum. Wrote songs for Gene Pitney, The Drifters, Dolly, Barry Manilow, The Partridge Family, Barbra Streisand, including some of the ones that were on The Star Is Born, and wrote books, Mystery of Edwin Drood and The First Wives Club, which was then made into a film and songs.
Wouldn't know from the books. I'm not a book man. That's my
problem. First Wives Club was a film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
which had a soundtrack done by Hollandaise Holland as well.
Okay.
So that's the artiste. This is his only big song.
What year
1979.
was it? 1979.
79.
But it only made number 23.
Only made 23 over here.
And number one
One in
over
the
there.
States.
I
But
would think.
I was surprised. I would thought it would be a top 5 hit over here, and it wasn't.
Sounds disco-y around 79.
It very, 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 very much isn't.
It very much isn't. Okay.
In fact, you probably couldn't get less disco-y if you tried. How would I describe it? It's an airy ballad of want. It's an airy ballad of wish and hope and want.
Blimey.
Blimey.
You're challenging me, aren't you? And it was did you say whether it was a male artist or a female artist?
Male artist.
It was just one guy singing. And he wrote lots of songs for
He wrote lots of songs for lots of other people.
But he had his own hit with this. Is this his only hit then, you're saying, basically?
He released a couple of others, but they weren't hits. Neither side of the pond. Think Cocktail.
Cocktail is in the drink, not the film.
Well, the two things are synonymous, but yes, the drink. A drink.
Oh, God, no. I don't want to waste time. Give me the initials.
Of what?
The guy that sang it.
RH.
RH. I'm just going to go through a lot of first names beginning with R now.
Okay, I'll give you another clue. The R is like a bear.
The R is like a bear.
My favourite bear when I was a kid, actually.
Rupert. Oh, of course. I didn't know he wrote a lot of other songs, though.
Oh, nor did I.
Rupert
Well, I looked
Holmes.
him up.
Rupert
Yeah.
Holmes. And you're thinking
Holmes.
of a pina
Escape.
colada as a cocktail.
Pina Colada song.
Escape, yeah.
Escape. It's actually called Escape brackets the Pina Colada
Pina
song.
colada song,
Close
yeah.
bracket.
As if that's what people know it by.
Yeah. It's a good song, and it's an airy ballad of want and a wishing. I think I summed that up relatively well, you know.
I think you did. It's just my
cuff.
brain probably wasn't functioning properly. I got there in the end with Rupert.
You did.
There aren't many Ruperts around. I wasn't aware they wrote a load of other songs for people, though.
No. And the Partridge Family. Did I include them?
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. Young David and his mum.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's a good song. It's I'm surprised it wasn't a bigger hit. I thought it was
like it should have been a top 10 at least.
Well, I thought it was, and apparently it wasn't. But yeah, number one in America. But it's been used in a couple of films, isn't it? Recently, wasn't it in Guardians of the Galaxy or something?
Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah,
there's an awful lot in
these
that.
Avengers films and the Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever they're called, they do have great soundtracks.
They do. Yeah.
Can't complain about
Iron Man is basically AC/DC's greatest hits.
Yes. Yeah.
In fact, I haven't got an AC/DC greatest hits because I'm not, but I've got Iron Man.
That's good enough. But to be honest, I'm not even sure they've done a greatest hits, have they? There's a lot of live albums, but I'm not sure they've done
Yeah, I don't know.
AC/DC greatest hits. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Oh well.
There you go. So Pina Colada song, Escape.
Yeah, that was on my list. Funny enough, I was going to play that the other morning on the radio, but I thought, we're doing a One-Hit Wonders show on Tuesday night. It must have been yesterday then. I had it down as one to play. Maybe it entered the chart or was released or something on yesterday. And I thought, maybe I'll leave that in case we can play it on the One-Hit Wonder, because I might.
What did you do in '79 yesterday?
What were we doing yesterday?
Or was it today you did '79?
Clive's year.
Clive's year.
1980.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's not one of those, but no, I mean, it must have been, unless it was his birthday or something, because he's still around. I remember him being on Top of the Pops performing it. Got glasses on.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
Right, here's another one for you that you're going to remember. This is from '67, so we're talking again around the Flower Power era.
Yeah, I was 6. Go on.
This was a number 7 hit in the UK and a number 1 in the US. And they were from Ohio, so where CBW Radio was
I
born,
say, isn't that home of
home of the greatest radio station
the only
in
station you'll ever need?
the only station we ever need. It's quite a psychedelic-ish song, but also quite poppy. And if you imagine, the song was inspired by the writer of the song seeing a busker begging for money in a certain colour musical instrument that rattles and shakes.
I read something about this recently. A certain colour musical instrument that rattles
Yes.
America. Or
Yeah, the instrument is something you hold in your hand and shake it.
a green tambourine.
Green Tambourine, yeah, by the Lemon Pipers.
Now, what was I reading about the Lemon Pipers? What was? Oh, I know what I was reading about the Lemon Pipers. Okay.
What were you reading?
Well, if I tell you that, it'll be one of my songs.
Ah, right, okay, fair enough. So yeah, that was quite simply where they got the lyric from. So like the lyric came to you in a flash, basically. When you toss a coin, you'll hear it sing. Now listen while I play my
My
green
green
tambourine.
tambourine.
So there's quite a lot of tape echo, I suppose, psychedelic-ish tape
Yeah.
echo when they sing the word play. So it's, you
Yes,
now
it's
listen
got the,
while
it's
I
got the echo
play,
in it.
play,
Yeah.
my green tambourine.
It's a good
Yeah,
song.
it is a good song.
You tend to
November
forget about all these things. Well, this goes back to what we said at the beginning. You just expect that it's one of many.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
But
We
there's
could go
so
on for
many ones.
hours. I
Yeah.
don't think we should. And I
No,
don't
I
think
think you're
Steve would
probably
want us to
right.
go on for hours
But
either.
while we're on Lemon Pipers then,
Yes, go on.
1977, ex-Lemon Piper
Oh,
formed
really?
another band. We didn't form another band, he did it himself and pulled a load of people in. A song originally by Leadbelly.
Bluesy then.
Yeah. Bluesy Rocky.
And are they American then?
Yep.
Okay. I was going to go down the route of something like the Climax Blues Band. Couldn't get it right. But they're English, aren't they?
There it is. I think it's only got 5 words in it. I could be wrong about that.
What, the song?
Oh, no, it's got more than that. It has got more than that. I forgot. Yeah, but it's not got many words in it. Massive guitar sound to it. Huge guitar sound to it. It's ostensibly a guitar riff with words chucked in for fun.
I don't know anyone that left the Lemon Pipers to form a band.
1977, so it's 10 years later. Well, he
Yeah.
didn't form a band. He wanted to do it, and the recording studio went, "No, you've got to do it with a band." So they made up a band for the song.
What was his name? Does that help me?
I didn't write it down. I'm really sorry.
Right.
Because I'd never heard of him and I didn't care.
No, okay. No, I mentioned the Lemon Pipers. It's my fault. So it's pretty much an instrumental then.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty much an instrumental. That there are words to it, and the words are quite controversial. In fact, they tried to ban it at one stage, and that because of the words that were used, but that failed. The banning failed.
The banning failed. The BBC failed.
I think it was in the States.
Oh, it was in the States.
Mm.
Yeah, we thought the BBC were a bit strict and a bit ridiculous with their bans.
The old
But
state boys
in the
can be a bit.
States, yeah, they're manic, aren't they, with some of the
Yeah.
censorship.
Drums and section rock and roll have always been my favourite.
77 though. And you did say the chart position, did you? You said it was a
number 7 in the UK, number 18 in the States.
No, it's not really helping me. No, tell me the song. I'll probably give you the artist or the other way around.
I'll give you the artist.
Go on then.
Ram Jam.
Yeah, Black Betty.
Black Betty.
Was it one of the Lemon Pipers? One of them?
Apparently so.
Oh, Black
Oh,
Betty.
Ramble
Ooh, Black...
which means nothing. What's Ramble mean? But
No.
apparently it's a Lead Betty. It's a Lead Belly song. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that either.
It's short. Is it 59 seconds or something originally? But it's like a minute long, like rant by Lead Belly sort of thing, which they just turned into this proper song.
Yeah, I think there are other words to it, aren't they? And you got the ram.
Yes. Blood Betty had a lamb, damn thing gone wild. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, a few words in there. No,
And
but
they're
I'm
all a
not
little
saying
bit.
there.
They're all a little bit dubious, really.
But the lyrics.
The lyrics are a little bit dubious. Dubious.
Yeah.
But yeah. There you go.
Okay, well, I know they do ban. I mean, the BBC ban. There was one I listed on my long list here that I could have mentioned, which wasn't a massive hit, but it was banned for a short time in the UK because of the lyrics, because it was. Well, I don't know why it was banned. Really, it's just ludicrous. The song was called Romeo. And the band was there's a similarly named US rock band actually with the same name, yeah.
Romeo. I know the song. I know the song.
Yeah, it's Mr. Big. They were
Yes,
in
you
a
played
band.
it. Romeo, she said.
Romeo said, "Step
yeah.
back inside me, take me to
You
your
played
bed."
it last week.
Yeah, take me to your bed. And yeah, they didn't like the lyrics. I think it got lifted in the end. But yeah, that was another one of those funny ones. Right, 69, slightly later. Not flower powery in the slightest. British.
Okay.
British, this one. Number 1 in the UK and 37 in the US. Pete Townsend was involved with the production of this.
Okay.
Like an offshoot to give. I'm trying to think, will this give it away on the.
I doubt it.
Not. To give the singer and the writer of the song, Speedy Keen, who did write the first song on their Who Sell Out album as well, to give him as like a band to perform with and write songs. So he's on bass, although he wasn't called Pete Townsend, he was called Bijou Drains, but it was Pete Townsend, and he produced it as well. The song was originally called Revolution, but they decided no, someone else has used that one. Someone else has used that one not that long ago at the end of 68. So they changed it to this particular song title. So apart from Speedy Keen, who's on the vocals and on the drums, there was I think still now, the youngest guitar player to play a solo record on a number 1 single at the age of 15. He went on to perform with a number of bands. Mainly, I would say the most obvious one would be Wings. So he was on the Wings Over America album.
Jimmy McCulloch.
Jimmy McCulloch. So it's Jimmy McCulloch on guitar, Speedy Keen on vocals and drums, Pete Townsend on bass, although he wasn't called that, and on piano, a guy called Andy Newman.
Related to Randy?
He had a nickname, Andy. Think of a stormy weather. What do you get? You get lightning, thunderclap Newman. So Something in the Air is the song. Bizarre song, actually. I mean, that's like jangly piano solo in there as well by Newman. I think it was used on an advert fairly recently. I can't remember who or what the advert was for.
I don't think I know the song particularly. It doesn't ring a bell.
I might have to play it. Are you on tomorrow? Are you listening tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm on and off tomorrow, yeah.
All right, okay. Well, maybe you'll catch up with it at some point. But yeah, Something in the Air, Thunderclap Newman.
And that was their only hit?
That's our only hit. number one. That
Oh, I must
literally
have heard it
one
because
hit.
I've heard of Thunderclap Newman, so I must have heard of this. I must
You
have
must
heard.
have heard of that song.
Yeah,
It's a bit like Sugar Sugar then. It was the only number one they had. It was in 1969, the only number one. Didn't have any other hits. And that was it.
okay, I don't know if this counts because this band are huge, just not over here.
Okay.
So this
Well,
is
they're one hit wonder in the UK.
1976, one hit wonder over here.
Yeah.
Number one in Australia, in New Zealand, in South Africa, and in Israel. Got to number 4 here. Australian band. What can I tell you about it?
Is it
Big cricket fans.
cricket? It's Sherbet.
It is Sherbet. Yeah.
How's that?
How's that?
I was going, how's that? And then you said the cricket. I thought, oh, yeah, I know that
Yeah,
one.
it's got to be how's that. Yeah.
How's that? Yeah, I mean, that they haven't had any other hits.
No,
You say
but
they probably had
apparently they were
loads
huge
of
in the
Australia.
yeah. So I'd never heard of them apart from how's that. One of those things when I was doing a bit of messing about with playlists and whatever a little while ago, and
As
some
you
of the
do.
stuff from my memory, and I downloaded it off off Apple, paid me 79p and downloaded it because I thought I haven't heard it for years and years and years.
Yeah.
It's just one of those songs that sticks in my mind.
I'll tell you another one like that, maybe, is a band called, well, they're Australian, I don't know, but Exile. Do you
Oh
remember
yes, they're Australian.
They are Australian.
The guy with the bald head.
Has he got a bald head? It's,
What was
was,
the
was
name
that
of the
Hot
song?
Child in the City? Is that Hot Child in the City? Was that Exile?
Oh, that's not the song I'm thinking of. I might be wrong then.
No, Exile, it's actually an American band, unless that's,
Okay.
no, yeah, formed in 1963.
No, I think I
And
must be thinking of a different sort of different band.
yeah, double check. I think it was X. I can't find singles on here. Discography. And yeah, was it? So it would have been 70s again, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, I don't.
No, it wasn't Hot Child in the City. That's somebody else, although you could call that. It was Kiss You All Over.
I want to kiss you all
Kiss
over,
You All Over.
again. That was Exile, was it? Okay.
That was
Remember the song?
Exile, yeah, in 78.
Hmm.
Which was, you mentioned them earlier on, a Chinny Chap song. Chinny Chap
Well,
production.
there we are.
They
There's a
did
lot of
do a
them
lot,
about.
didn't they?
A lot of them about.
Don't know. You just mentioned these songs, and I'm thinking of other ones that.
I know, but that's what this sort of conversation
That's-
does. And the problem is you can go down that rabbit hole.
And we'll never get out of it.
And you end up going and about, and about.
Yeah, yeah.
There we are.
All right.
But that's the fun of it, isn't it?
It is the fun of it, indeed. Now, you mentioned one and only Chesney Hawkes. I won't bother with that one.
Please don't.
But that would be one that was a one-hit wonder for sure. What about this one? 79 it was. From their album The Age of Plastic.
Okay.
That ring a bell?
Yeah.
Number 1 here, number 40 in the US. It concerned, the song was about mixed attitudes towards 20th century inventions and machines for the media arts.
Golly, that sounds deep and meaningless.
It does. It's quite new wave.
I was going to say, we're talking new wave punky here, aren't we?
New wave synthy, I would say, rather than punky. One of the members of the band, actually, Stinks will be pleased to know that we can mention them again, did perform on stage with Yes.
Video killed a radio star.
Video killed a radio star, Buggles.
It was their one and only.
It was Chesney Hawkes, yeah, definitely.
Both of the two of the guys in the Buggles appeared on stage with Yes, because the keyboard player was in it for a little while with Trevor Horn. And you know this story because I've told you before, but I was there.
You were there?
I was there in the studio when Buggles were in one studio and Yes were in the other studio, and we were in the third studio.
Oh, right.
And they made love, or whatever it is that artists do to get together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Make
was there.
music. I think it's make music rather
That's
than
what
make
they do.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably.
Redan Recorders in Queensway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I used to work in Kingsway, if that helps.
That's my fault.
There was a studio in Kingsway.
There probably
There was a
was.
studio in Kingsway. I think the Beatles might have recorded there once, actually.
So when were we talking? We talking 1980. That would have been.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
no, that would have
79
been
was, yeah.
this sort of time in 1980.
Yeah, okay.
Like February, March time in 1980.
Video killed the radio star, anyway.
Good song.
Yeah, it is a good song.
It is a
And
good song.
a nice little piano bit at the end, actually, which often is missed off.
Which is
Not on
probably
CBW radio, obviously.
It's yeah. No, it's one of those songs where I don't know who wrote it. Did Trevor Horn write it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the three of them
Probably
did.
did.
Trevor Horn, Jeff Downes, and
Yeah, Jeff
Bruce
Downes is the
Woolley.
keyboard player.
And Bruce Woolley. Bruce Woolley. Now,
Yeah.
when I saw that name, I thought, Bruce Woolley, that rings a bell.
No.
And then I looked into Bruce Woolley, and well, not I looked into him personally, but I looked up his on Wiki, yeah, and I looked Bruce Woolley. Here we go, and there it was, and it said that he performed a little bit with the Springfields or Dusty Springfield, or maybe he was involved in something with them. And because I was thinking Bruce Woolley, I was actually thinking, is that the guy that was in the Seekers?
Ooh,
And the
okay.
link with the Springfields was kind of there. I thought, maybe.
Yeah.
But in fact, then I realised, oh no, the Seekers was Bruce Woodley, not
Woodley.
Bruce Woolley. So I was close.
And they're the rabbit holes that we get lost in.
Yeah, indeed. We don't want to get lost.
Want to get lost.
I've got another one if you want it, or do you got another one there?
Oh, I've got more. You've got more. Whichever you want.
Go on. Oh, well, I'll stick with that era then.
Go on, then.
What year was this? Was this 79 or was it 80? Around that time. It was a number one here. No, it wasn't. It was a number two here. It was a number one in the US. It was stopped from getting to number one here by Art Garfunkel with Bright Eyes.
Mr. Michael Batt.
Yes, who wrote Bright Eyes, but performed by Art Garfunkel.
Yeah.
And I would say it's been described as a quirky Europop song. The drummer was a guy called Phil Gould, who went on to be a founding member of Level 42, I have you know.
Okay. They weren't too bad, were they?
No, they weren't too bad. You love a bit of Level 42. Mark King and his funky bass.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Mark King's.
Aren't you?
No, not really.
He's too choppy.
He's better than I'll ever be. But he's a little bit like bands like U2, as far as I'm concerned. Like they're just a little bit overhyped, and that takes away from his actual ability. You know.
Fair enough.
But there we go.
I was thinking about U2 recently. I was playing a song, thinking like The Edge for the guitarist for U2.
Yeah.
And everything he does is very, very simple. It seems to me. It's just like just caught. He's just sort of ding a 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 ding, and they've got a sound, and they stuck with it, haven't they?
And it works. I mean, there's no doubt.
It works. You can't complain. No one else does it. But this.
Right, anyway, so where are we?
The guy concerned was Robin Scott, and he used as his stage name just one letter of the alphabet.
M.
Good guess. 1 out of 26 guess, was that?
That's 1 out of 26. Is it not the right one?
It was the right one. Is M, and the song is
music.
Yeah, New York, London, Paris, Munich. Everybody's talking about pop music.
I just assumed that they were European, not English.
No, he's English.
Or mainland Germans or something.
No, they do sound it.
They do.
He is English.
I love it. It's a great song. It's a great pop song.
Catchy, isn't it? It's catchy.
Yeah. It's if you play that tomorrow, we'll be singing it the rest of the week.
Yeah, probably so.
It's that sort of song.
It is.
That's interesting.
So
let's
stay
in that era. Let's stay in that time, that general
ballpark. Yep.
A ballpark.
Yes.
Okay, let's go 1977. That's general, isn't that the same sort of area?
Yeah, same sort of area, I would say.
Okay. 1977, number 20 in UK. don't know where it got to in the States, to be perfectly blunt.
Fair enough.
If I say that, it will give it away. It's one of my top 3 ever ever best songs. So I have mentioned it before.
Was it in your Desert Island list?
No, because that was albums. I didn't do singles.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
These guys were the house band at CBGB's. Obviously, we're along with Blondie, Talking Heads, Ramones, all that lot. They've done 6 albums altogether, but only 1 hit. And they didn't tour over here because the main guy's missus wouldn't let him out of the States.
Oh really?
So he divorced her. But he still didn't tour over here.
He's put his foot down there, hasn't he?
He's dead now.
Oh right, okay, it's not them. Well, they had more.
There is okay. So you and I both don't particularly like spoken bits in songs.
No.
Which is why I was very keen to tell you that the live version of Heaven Can Wait has got because it's anyway. Bless her heart. This has got one of the only talky bits that I really like, and works brilliantly, and actually sets the song off completely. Without it, it wouldn't be the same song. And it's talked by the bassist, not by the. It's talked in a foreign language by the bassist, not by the lead singer.
And it's just the talky bit's just by one of them. It's not like by the whole band.
By one of them.
I was thinking the Floaters for some reason.
I love that. Float on. Could have had that.
You could have had that one.
My name
sound.
I'm Cancer, and if you love all the girls, it's a superb song.
I'm Big C.
We should do a version. I'm Stinky Pete.
Yeah, and I'm Jazzy Jet.
And then we could get Gordon to do the last verse, and no one would know what he was saying.
No one would understand. Yeah, why not? Ian Dury did something similar, didn't he, with the start of one of their songs. The Blockheads all had a little.
They did, yeah. Hello, I'm Willie.
That's the one, yeah.
Like
that. And then, and I'm Ian.
I'm Ian. And we are the Blockheads. I love Ian Dury and the Blockheads anyway. But
he was great.
Right, okay, so back to 1977.
Booking me around this one, 1977, number 20 hit.
I have asked for it on your show before.
Have you? British then? No, they're American. They're American, you said, weren't they?
They are American. They're very American.
And at the
CBGBs.
No.
You're gonna have to think rat-like furry animal.
Rat-like.
Bigger, but
rat-like furry animal.
That helps with the name of the band.
Right. Rat-like furry animal.
The spoken thing is by the bassist, and it's in Spanish.
Why don't I?
Rosita. Others call me Cara Rosita. I can't do Spanish, but
no. You should do the beginning of.
And as Peter said many times, all my accents come out as Indian.
Yeah.
So, please, any Indians listening, forgive me.
You should do the intro to Speedy Gonzales then, by Pat Boone. That sounded a bit like it there.
It did.
No, I'm going to kick myself with these.
Okay. Minx DeVille, Spanish Stroll.
Smell, you have asked me for that. Yeah. Minx DeVille.
And over here, definitely just a one hit wonder.
Definitely, yeah. Willie DeVille.
Willie DeVille, who was not allowed out of the USA by his missus.
Really, yeah.
So he didn't go. They toured the States a lot. But
one hit though. Presume they had other albums or singles?
6 albums altogether. They produced 6 albums over the years.
Well, he's dead now, isn't he, Willie DeVille? Yeah. I'm letting the side down here, not guessing them.
Mate,
I try to give beat clues, and they're always rubbish. You know, like if it's, I don't know.
Can I just say, talking about clues, I got Susie Quattro at number 5 when Neil was doing the thing, and I got Cockney Rebel at number 5.
Did you?
And
Blimey.
I've got someone else at number 5, and I can't remember these now.
I'll tell you what,
But
you
it'll
should
come to
come
me.
on. You should come on when Neil does another one. But that makes this
No.
another. It
That
adds
would
50% of the work to it for him. I'd have thought.
it would just
Can't
be
do that.
awful.
You can sit there and
Anyway, there you
enjoy
go.
us.
Do you want another one from the? Do you want another one from the same era?
Yeah, go on then.
You'll get this because we've talked about it before. 1977 again, number 9 in the UK, and this is very much a. This is the only song that these guys are known for.
I know this one.
You do.
And it's Do Anything You Want to Do. And
It
it's
is Do Anything You Want to Do. Yeah,
Eddie and the Hot Rods. Technically, you could get away actually by saying this is a one-hit wonder for one good reason. For that single and that single alone, they went under the name The Rods.
Did they really?
Yes.
You know that, and I don't.
Yep. Well, now you do. So that
All I've got to do
actually
is
means
remember
it is a one-hit wonder anyway. I know what you mean. That's one that people would. If you hear Eddie and the Hot Rods, you think Do Anything You Want to
Do
Do.
anything you want to do. Yeah.
But I mean, as a fan of the band and
Yeah, yeah.
other, it's
7
I mean,
albums. Teenage Depression is a great song.
Teenage Depression is a great
British-
song.
British Town.
Other great
you know.
songs that I Might Be Lying was another good song as well. Then a couple of good live EPs. In fact, in '76, very early on in my punky new wave era, it sort of introduced it really. That was one of the first. It wasn't really punk because we didn't call it punk.
No, it was.
then.
It wasn't.
But it was almost pub rock. They had a live EP at the Marquee. It's called simply Live at the Marquee, and they did 96 Tears. They did Get Out of Denver. It's a rocking version of Get Out of Denver. And a cover of Van Morrison's Gloria as well.
Okay.
And Satisfaction, I think they did too. And then they did another EP with Hard Driving Man and another great one anyway. So Eddie and the Hot Rods. And they
Weren't
had
they
a
a
lot.
breakout from? Didn't half of the band play with Lee Brillo or whatever his name was originally? I think they did. I think half of them played with the guy. He was the front man, wasn't he? For
Feel Good.
That
Dr.
was-
Feel Good. Yeah,
Dr. Feel Good, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure that half the band played with him as in the previous band.
Well, could be right. They both came from
Canvey
Southend,
Island, yeah.
and Canvey Island. So yeah, that could well be the case.
You know they
But
did 6 live albums. Did you know that?
Feel Good already.
No, Eddie and Hot Rods did 6 live
Oh,
albums.
really?
Yeah.
Barry Masters only died a couple of years ago. And it was quite
Yeah,
recent.
he did. Yeah, it was recent.
And he's
yeah.
well known for having a bit of a bust up and a punch up with Johnny Rotten, I think, at the Marquee, wasn't he?
Well, I think everybody should have done that at some stage.
Yes, fair enough.
Just for the sheer fun of doing it.
Fair enough. Fair
And
enough.
I quite like the Sex Pistols, so like that's not that's,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, if Stinks were here, he wouldn't be
he'd be on
at
it.
all.
He'd be on it all over it.
Now, you've mentioned Dr. Feelgood. Now, that's another classic example. They had a load of singles, a load of albums. But if
They
you
did.
ask anyone on the street, Dr. Feelgood, you know what they're going to say, don't you?
Milk and alcohol.
Milk and Alcohol. Which was,
And
it
yet-
wasn't even a massive hit. I think
And
it
yet,
was like
down at the Doctors, he's equally as good.
Down to the Doctors. Yeah, their first album in mono, Down by the Jetty, and Malpractice, which came out also black and white cover like Down by the Jetty, but that came out in stereo the following year. But both of those were just great pub rocky bands.
Yeah, what was their other big hit was
Well, down
Down the
at
Doctors and Milk and
for
Alcohol
some
were the-
reason. Milk and Alcohol, obviously. Baby Jane.
No, that's not what I'm thinking of.
Their first single was She Does It Right, which that wasn't a hit. Roxette.
Roxette, that was it. Thank you. Yeah, Roxette's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. And and that was on their first album. And then they did Riot in Cell Block number 9. I mean, Wilco Johnson's guitar was surreal, wasn't it? It's just
Rhythmic, I think it's the phrase.
rhythmic is the word.
Yeah,
Jerky
but
sort of
it's unerring rhythmic. Like he just doesn't stop.
unique.
He must have been knackered by the end of it.
Yeah. He passed away fairly recently, even though
He did,
he should have
yeah,
passed away a lot
and he
longer
did his
ago.
be-
but,
He did his best not to, didn't he? Like,
did his
tried
best
for a long
not to.
time not to.
they told him he only had, 6 months, if that, to live?
Yeah,
many,
like that,
many
yeah.
years
And
ago.
he went another 4 or 5 years, didn't he?
More than that, I think,
He did
yeah.
more than that, yeah.
Yeah.
Enough to make Game of Thrones anyway.
In fact, we saw him actually on stage supporting somebody. I can't remember who it was.
The Who?
Another classic story. I'll tell you, it might have been Quo. You know, when the Frantic Four, as they were called, reformed,
Yeah.
and did a few gigs at the Hammersmith Odeon.
Right.
We went to see them, of course. Reminiscing over the first time I ever went to see them at the Hammersmith Odeon
Oh,
in
okay.
1976. But yeah, he was there. Wilco Johnson with his band of the time, not Dr. Feelgood, but yeah. Anyway, we're not mentioning Dr. Phil because they're not a one-hit wonder.
No,
What
they're
about
not.
another one from 1970 for me?
Go on in.
Another fitting the mold of the Tony Burrows and the Edison Nighthouses and the Beach Babies and the Honey Bus, I Can't Let Maggie Go, that sort of era. This was number one in the UK, number 23 only in the US, April 1970. The guy who wrote it offered it to the Tremolos to sing.
Okay.
But they had just had a big hit with a song called Call Me Number One, which was a little bit more rocky. So this song was a little bit too pop orientated, so they turned it down. They recorded it, but it was never released. So this guy who wrote the song thought, as you do, like Roy Orbison did with Only the Lonely, he offered it the
Yeah.
Everleys, he offered it
Someone
to
else
whoever.
wants it, I'll do it.
They didn't want it, I'll do it. Same with this guy. So he actually used the Tremolo's backing from the record and took out the lead singers and put in this guy. His first name was Jeff and his last name was Christie.
Okay.
So it's Jeff Christie was the name of the guy. Christie was the name of the band. And the
Right.
song is two words. One is a colour,
Okay.
one of the rainbow colours. That doesn't narrow it down, or it does the seven anyway. And the second word is a channel of water that leads into
Hello, River.
Yellow River. So it's Jeff
Hello,
Christie's
River.
voice over the Tremolo's backing. If you check
Wow.
on Spotify or whatever, and
I don't know why I think this, but when you were talking about it, I'm thinking this is Jessamine by the Casuals.
that's another great song.
Fantastic. So
Jessamine Casuals.
whatever happened to them?
No, that's another one. Yeah, that was such a good
But
song.
that's what was, and I had to shift that out of my head
Yeah,
to
you
get to
still got it.
what you were talking about. Because I go,
Once you've
oh
got
no,
one
no, no,
in your
no, it's
head, you
that.
can't get it out. Yeah, I know. But
Um,
Jessamine, yeah, what a song that is. What am I
great,
supposed to do with a
great
girl
song. Well,
like
they Liverpudlian
Jessamine?
band,
Oh,
weren't they? Casuals.
you know more than me. The
I
Casuals,
think they
yeah,
were Liverpudlian. I think they were. But yeah. Oh, Yellow River.
So
Do you know?
included little link back to Chesney Hawks,
But
the
you mean the
Tremolos,
one
of
and only?
course. Yeah, I mean the one and only Chesney Hawk. The Tremolos backing, of course. One of the Tremolos was Chip Hawks, who was
Chesney's
Chesney
dad.
Hawks' dad.
I did not know that.
And now you do. You've learned
And
so many
I
things
tell you,
on this show.
if only I
I
was
tell you
making
what,
notes,
you can come back next week and you'd tell me all these things. I
and
hope
I'll
you
have
took
forgotten
notes.
all of them completely.
You'll have to watch back the show, won't you, on Spotify or whatever, or on Twitter or
On
X
Twitter or X or whatever it's called. Should we
or on
should we
Facebook.
go back a little further ago? Or no, back to
Go
where
on.
you were, 1970.
Yeah,
So if Stinks was here, because can I call my brother Stinks? I
you
think so.
can. Yeah, go for
I
it.
can hear. He would say this will be on his list without a shadow of a doubt. Probably top of his list.
I think I know it, and
Go on.
I've got it written down as well. Is it three people?
It is three people.
Is one of them a dyke?
One of them is a dyke, and one of them digs
One of them is
soil.
an Ashton, and one of them is a gardener.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
Ashton, Gardner, Dyke, and I'm definitely playing this tomorrow. I definitely
Good.
am. And it's Resurrection Shuffle.
It is. It is absolutely, which is a great song. Three journeyman musos, like they just done all the stuff together. Number three it got to. I hadn't realised that at the time. I didn't think it was that way. But there's this great little bit at the end where they do the at the end of it as it runs off. Sorry, you're laughing. That's my singing. And I'm in a choir. That's even scarier, isn't it?
I know.
But it's a really good song, and
It really shuffles along, in fact, doesn't it?
it does
Really
shuffle along. And Ashton, whose name I can't remember, the first name I can't remember, which is really annoying. It's
I'll
got
look that up while you're thinking of something else.
he's got a really good voice, and because he went on, didn't he, to work with Ian Pace and John Lord at Deep Purple.
Ah, right.
Pace Ashton and Lord.
Tony Ashton,
Only Ashton, that's it, yeah.
Roy Dyke, and who's Gardner? Or Kim Gardner, bassist Kim
Okay,
Gardner.
I'll believe you. But Tony Ashton was the guy, like the one that held it all together. Apparently did a bit of work with Mr. Harrison as well, as we're still in
Oh, I'm reading. Yeah, on his
in the George
Wonderwall
Harrison.
music before he had a proper album. Yeah, everyone, yeah, All Things Must Pass. You think is his first album, really, but you wouldn't. It's like his third. But it's like it's John Lennon. He had a few dodgy ones before his first debut album,
Yeah,
the Plastic Ono Band one. Yeah,
Unlike
yeah.
Paul McCartney, who only had
That's
one
on my
dodgy
list.
album.
That's on my list too. So, Resurrection Shuffle and Stinks, as I recall, as you predicted, he would have had it in
Oh,
the
he
one
would have had it.
5 years
It
ago.
would be the first thing that came off his lips. And should I tell you why? Because
Yes.
I can remember hearing it at his, golly, it must have been his 16th birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'd have been 12. And it was the
Yeah.
first birthday party Mum and Dad had let us have at home. And Pete had mates round or whatever. In fact, may well have been a big brother. Your big brother may well have been there. But there was that Resurrection Shuffle was played, and Get It On was played, and they're the two that I can remember. Isn't it weird how you remember certain things?
Yeah. Well, it's good though that music does that. I always think.
That's what it's about.
No matter what song, if I play any song on the radio tomorrow, I'm presuming you've heard the song before. That is, yeah, it'll probably remind you of something or somebody or or somewhere that you've been or seen or done.
Well, it's like you said earlier. That was very kind of you. You played Shania Twain for someone else today.
Yeah.
And you had remembered, which was very sweet of you.
Yeah.
And of course, yeah, it's just there's that memory that links to that memory that links to that memory.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go.
Excellent. Right.
I've got two more, don't I? And then I've got a whole bunch of maybe.
Yeah, a few throwaways at the end, but yeah, I've got loads. I had to pick which ones I could hone in on, but yeah. Ones that I tell you what, this is an artist who has had. Actually, he probably didn't have that many hits, but if you listen, he's had so many albums. But I think this is one that, again, if you ask someone on the street, this guy's name, which song do you remember? Now, if I say to you that he's actually number one, both sides of the pond, in 71 and 72, depending on respectively US and UK. Originally a Badfinger song.
Okay.
On their No Dice album. And
Without You.
Sorry?
Without You?
It's Without You, yeah. I mean, it was originally written If It's Love, because it's written by Pete Ham and Tom Evans, the two members of Badfinger. Ham should be Ham and Eggs, really, shouldn't it? It's not. It's Ham and Evans.
You said Bad Company, not Badfinger, didn't you? So I just like
it's Badfinger. Did I say Bad Company?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's right.
No, I meant Badfinger.
Yeah, I knew you did.
It must have cut out the sound or something. Definitely said Badfinger. Would have been. You can edit that out, Shaggy, if I said Bad Company. I jest. A song called If It's Love. He had the lines, well, I can't forget tomorrow. When I think of all my sorrow, I had you there, but then I let you go. And it's only fair that I should let you know if it's love. So presumably that was combined with Tom Evans' song, which he had sung. He just split up with his wife, apparently.
Right.
And he was writing I Can't Live Without You. And they combined the two together and came up with the song of Without You, which I think is such a good vocal. He's such a great vocalist. As is one of McCartney and Lennon's favourite artists. We're always interviewed in the past, in the late 60s. Who's your favourite singer? Harry Nilsson.
Yeah.
And who's your favourite band? Harry Nilsson. Yeah, so... or Sophie Tucker. Without You. It was a number one for, of course, Mariah Carey as well. Which
don't say that, because she absolutely buggered it.
Absolutely ruined it.
She did.
Less is more is not in her vocabulary.
No. And we had this conversation at Christmas. She's actually got a really nice
Good
voice.
voice, yeah.
She just needs to use it properly.
Yeah.
But I know Without You is a fantastic song. He he did the theme tune to
Midnight Cowboy.
Midnight Cowboy, which is also a great song as well.
Everybody's talking.
Everyone's talking about you.
Everyone's talking, yeah. That
But
wasn't
he's
meant to be the theme, actually. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jeff.
oh, that's right.
He wasn't. They wanted Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan
Yeah.
was writing a
Lay
song.
Lady Lay.
Lay Lady Lay, yeah, but he never got it finished in time. So they went with.
Well, I'm glad because I prefer everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, but Lay Lady Lay is a good song, if grammatically incorrect, of course. We don't like that. We don't like that. It puts me off a song. Same with
Have you heard Nielsen's
Lay Down
version?
Sally. It's the same. No, Eric, it's Lie Down Sally.
Exactly, yeah. Have you heard Nielsen's version of Mr. Bojangles?
Mr. Bojangle, no, I don't.
Oh,
I may have done. It
it's
doesn't
brilliant.
stand out, but is
It's
it good?
brilliant. He's got some great songs out there. But you're right. If you say to the world, they'll
I say without you. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they will, without
Right,
a doubt.
let's move on swiftly then. What you got?
All right, go on. You're not going to get this one. I definitely know that you might get this one.
I didn't get the others, so
Okay, 1986. I've got this album. I cannot believe I've got this album, but I have. 1986, number 27 in the UK. Produced by Gary Katz, who was Steely Dan's producer. And it's got both the guys from Steely Dan on it. It's got Tony Levine on Chapman Stick bass, which we've talked about before. Model turn singer, lady. Model
she's
turn
a
singer,
lady.
lady. There's one other clue that I could give you that will give it away because you know a lot about this guy.
Go on, tell me.
All right. She was, for 7 years, she was the beau for Mr. Jeffrey Lynn of the ELO Wilbury fame.
Well, I know Jeff Lynne. Who was his beau?
If you're making a list of songs to play for tomorrow, add this one. Which you can't do because you haven't guessed it yet.
No, I can't.
Now,
well, you said I won't know it though. So, is there any point in me trying? If you give me
you might.
artist, I'll give it his song, or the other way around.
All right, the song is Magic Smile.
I don't know it then. No, Magic Smile.
Right. The other song that got way, I mean, this only got to number 27. The other song was like way down the bottom, but I think it's a better song, was Fool's Paradise.
Not sure I know that one either.
Okay. It's Rosie Vela from the album called Zazu. And it's a really good album. It's very 1980s. Like, it's got 1980s stamps all the way through it, you know. And if you look at who she is, she's got like the big hair, and like the shoulder pads out here. It's spot on 1980s, but beautifully produced. The music on it is immaculate, as you would expect from the Steely Dan boys and Tony Levine and all that lot. So it's
Jeff Lynne, even.
Huh?
And Jeff Lynne, of course.
And Jeff Lynne, of course.
He must have. I was going to say he must have rubbed off on her, but probably I wouldn't say that. Well, we'll gloss over that.
We'll gloss over that statement, but yes, I'm sure you're right. The other one that I've got is from the same era. So it's 1985, and you'll definitely get UK number 6, USA number 1, theme tune to a film. The band, this is one guy singing, and that's whose title it is. But the band features members of Toto, REO, Mr. Journeyman, British musician. 4 albums to his name, but only 1 chart success. You will get this. If we did a 1980s film one, which we talked about, this would be one of the films that was chosen.
One of the films?
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking films from 86. The only ones I'm thinking of is Top Gun.
Nope. This is the actual title of the film. Is the name of the song?
When was Footloose? Not that one, is it?
Nope. It's English.
Oh yeah, good point. Thinking of Pretty in Pink. It was 86.
That's a great film.
Yeah.
Psychedelic Furs. They were English, weren't they?
Yeah, they were English. Yeah, I played one of theirs this morning. They were. I think they were in the chart from 1980. Been around for some time.
I must have missed that bit.
No, go on, tell me, because I'm struggling here.
John Parr, St Elmo's Fire.
St Elmo's Fire. Man
It's
in Motion.
So I mean, it's everything that 1980s ballad, like rock ballads should be. It's
and the hair to go with it as
the
well.
hair, and yeah. So he was the male version of Rosie Vela, really. Like you could put them next to each other, and you go, which is the one with the beard?
Oh, that'll be Rosie.
Rosie. Yeah. Well, she's got a deep voice as well. She's got oh yeah. It's a very sexy voice.
Wow.
So.
Okay, right.
So that's all of the ones that I've done anything about.
Good shout, yeah. All right, I'm going to throw very quickly in here one bizarre one. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'd definitely be one of the one-hit wonders. It was number one both sides of the pond, and it's two individuals. It came out in '69, and it was a journey of mankind over a 10,000-year span, lyrically.
Okay.
It predicts that man's thoughts, relationships, and body will be negatively affected by technological advances and ends up with man's extinction. So it's not a great topic for the song. They go up to. In fact, one of the last verses will be now it's been 10,000 years. Man has cried 1 billion tears for what he never knew. Now man's reign is through. And that was just after the year 95.
In the year 25,
the
25.
year 25 by Zager and Evans.
I could not have told you who it was by. Huh?
Yeah, Zager and Evans.
Zager and Evans.
Yeah, that's that lot. Oh, one I had to give a mention to. It might be one that Stinks had in the last show 4 or 5 years ago, but I do agree it is a wonderful song. And as a music fan, I am aware that he did have other hits. Nothing like the quality of this, or position-wise. Number 3 it was in '76. And I'm just going to tell you that because then we can whiz through them. It was produced by Alan Parsons. It was from his
project, didn't he?
Yeah, Rebel album in '76. And I would say it was this guy's, I say this because Stinky Pete isn't around, is he? No, it's like this guy's Bohemian Rhapsody in a way.
Okay.
And it's John Miles and music.
Music was his first love, and it will be his last.
And it will be his last.
And it probably was.
And probably
it's a great song.
Yeah, it is superb, that song. So that's that one, music. Along the lines of in the year 75, in the year 25, whatever it was, another one, number one in the UK, and this was in '65, written by 2 band members. But Tommy Moeller and Brian Parker, but they recorded with 2 other session musicians, hence the +2 at the end of their band name.
Okay.
One of whom was Russ Ballard, who was the songwriter, lead singer, guitarist and founding member of Argent. Yep. And he wrote a lot of other great songs, New York Groove, You Can Do Magic, the America version, not Limmy and the Family Cooking. Since You've Been Gone and I Surrender, the Rainbow songs. Yep. So you win again, Hot Chocolate, and God Gave Rock and Roll to Me. The song is Concrete and Clay. Okay. And the band is Unit 4+2. Hence the +2, which is odd. You can't go in a one-hit wonder show. You can't, as Stinks would say, you can't have a conversation about one-hit wonders without talking about the crazy world of Arthur Brown.
Well, I very nearly picked it and thought, no, I won't.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yep.
With Vincent Crane on the keyboards. Very psychedelic rock. bit scary, actually, I think, at the time when we watched that on Top of the Pops. A more recent one, 94, not quite as up to date as yours, 95. The more recent one was a number one in 94. Scottish band. The singer was a guy called Ray Wilson.
Okay, did he play left back for England?
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I think we mentioned. I think we mentioned this in the Genesis show
Okay.
last. Was it last week? I did with Stinks, the Genesis one, I think. Because when I said I was trying to read Ray Wilson, and I actually read it as Ray Wilkins. So I
Right.
said, no, I don't mean Ray Wilkins, who's another footballer, anyone who doesn't know. And he said, you mean Ray Wilson, the England fullback, who won the World Cup for us? No, not him. Ray Wilson actually took Phil Collins' place on Genesis' final album when he left, Calling All
Okay.
Stations. And it was the fourth number one single in the UK to feature in a Levi's advert. There was a few of them, weren't there? This was the band called Stiltskin, and the song was
Oh,
Inside.
yeah.
Very grungy.
Yes. I remember
I'm
the name
pretty
of the
sure.
band. I don't remember the song. I don't think, but it's so I've a couple of chuckaways from me.
Go on then.
Layla, Derek and the Dominoes.
Well, that's true. Yeah, they didn't have another hit, did they?
They didn't. They didn't have
Eric
another one.
did.
But
Eric
like
did.
Eric did, and
And Dwayne Allman did as well.
Dwayne had a few.
Yeah.
But together they
Not on his
just
own,
didn't quite
probably.
make it. But it's a great song, and it can't not be noted.
No, it's got to be
Uh,
noted. You're right. I didn't note that one down.
Peter Starstick. Where'd you go to, my
Well,
lovely?
where do you go to my lovely? Yeah, I've got that one on my long list here of songs.
Ace. How long?
How long? I've got that one down as well with Paul Carrack. What a singer he is.
What a singer, as you mentioned earlier as well. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to go really up to date for me. If anyone listening is not going to see this, I'm going to do an action for you and see
Not
whether you.
YMCA, is it?
No, it's
You'd put your arms up in the
it's
air.
the only way is up.
The only way is up. Yes.
Yes. Whatever happened to Yes?
And the plastic population.
And the plastic body. Yes, quite.
Don't forget
But
them.
but she was the big thing, and then she wasn't.
Yeah, true.
Two more just quickly.
Yes.
Charlene. I've been to Paradise. I've never been to you.
Never been to me.
I know.
I've never been to me. Is it? Has that been
It's
to
never
you?
been to me. Yeah.
It's never been to me.
I
Yeah.
actually, I've been on stage with Charlene.
Oh, really?
I have, and I actually own two Charlene albums, but not that one because she
All
went
right.
into the gospel rock stuff, into the Christian music scene.
Yep.
After what she did, the pop, the I can't remember what the album was called now.
Charlene.
I can't remember what it's called. But it's a really nice song. I've been to Paradise. I know it's been to me. I believe it's about a lady of the night, but I'm not 100% certain.
Ooh. You mean like Roxanne?
A little like Roxanne, yes.
Well, the album she had, one was
only
called
more Roxanne.
Charlene. That would have been her debut. What year was we talking this one?
I
Well,
don't
to
know,
the albums, you've got
I would have
Charlene,
been- I would have
Songs
seen
of
this-
Love in 77. In 82, you've got I've Never Been to Me,
Right,
The
that's
Sky
good.
is the Limit,
Well, I've got The Sky's the Limit.
Used to Be.
Yes, I've got that as well.
And then in 84, Hit and Run Lover.
Right, I haven't got that.
All right.
So it's Sky's the Limit is a lovely album. But it's very gospel. It's very. In fact, you could have played all of it on today's theme for the Beckton crew, and you'd have been fine. it's
Right.
it's real praise the Lord stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then one more because I don't know where this lot come from, and I've got the single, so I know it was a hit in this country.
Yeah.
It's "How Do You Do" by the Windows.
I don't know this one.
It is that I think they're a German band. But I physically have the single, so it must have been released here.
What
And-
Windows? Oh, as in Windows, presumably.
The Windows, as in this, like this one behind me.
Yes.
And
And what's
it's
the name
called
of the
"How
song?
Do You Do," and it must have been 71, 72, I'd have thought.
I'm not finding
Well, I
anything.
couldn't find very much on it.
No, I'm not finding anything on there.
So
Oh, interesting.
it's it's just a standard pop record along the lines of Love Grows and that sort of thing. It's all very much of that sort of
That
that
ilk.
style and era and ilk. Yeah,
That,
yeah,
that ilk. Yep. All right. Right. A couple of ones here that didn't only have one hit, but again, I think they would be known for just that. Was Mary Hopkin. Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. Um,
Got a lovely voice.
Another one you could argue had many hits that weren't hits, if it's sort of jazzy things,
Mm-hmm.
was Louis Armstrong. What a Wonderful World.
Yeah, you
Mm, but
could
I thought that
argue it.
you could argue it, but
You
I'm not
could
going
argue
to.
it, but like we are talking world superstar.
We are definitely. It's difficult to say, but
It,
if they don't have more than one hit, an
yeah, no,
example of that
it's a fair
is this
point.
next one, who's had billions of hits in the States and one hit in the UK, one hit in the US. Sorry, one hit in the UK, number one in 1974 it was.
Okay,
It's also number one in the US. I think he's second number one. And it was about his wife, who's called Annie.
John Denver.
John Denver, Annie's song. One number one hit in the UK, solo hit, nothing else. How bizarre is that? He
I
had
didn't
billions
know
in the
that.
States.
Like, Take Me Home is like an absolute standard.
Take Me Home Country Roads, yeah. I mean, there's so many.
Absolute standard. Like we play it, everyone plays it.
Yeah, but John
Um,
Denver, only one hit over here. I mean, James
leaving on
Galway,
a jet plane
yeah, true.
didn't
But
make it over
maybe they
here.
just weren't released over here. I don't know.
Maybe
Odd.
not.
But James Galway had a hit with it in '78
I
with a
bumped into
flute.
him once.
Did you?
Physically, he walked straight into me.
Bit rude.
He's like this big. He really is. He's
He's
tiny.
tiny. Well, no
And
wonder you didn't see
we
him.
were in Central Hall in Belfast.
I said, no wonder you didn't see him.
And he came running out the stairs for his concert.
Yeah.
I'm walking out, and he's literally bumped into me. And I've gone, Mr. Galway, what are you doing here? When I've got a concert. I said, no, you haven't, because we're playing tonight. And it's the wrong week. But his
I
eyes
think
flicker.
we better wind up because well, I think we've run out of time now. We didn't even mention Radar Love. I thought that surely will get mentioned by somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, Pete would have been very distressed.
You'd be distressed if we didn't mention that one. So yeah, real driving song that one, wasn't it? But yeah, we could go on forever with these one hit wonders. There's so many of them. I will try and play a few of them tomorrow on the show, which will be on at 8 in the morning here in the UK. That'll be 3 a.m. Eastern. It starts on CBW Radio, the last station you'll ever need. So thank you very much, Jeff,
Oh, I've really enjoyed it. Thank
for
you.
your input. Yeah, it's great fun. It always is though. It always is good fun.
It's lovely.
And yeah, I'll be in touch anyway about next week. If Stinks isn't around next week as well, we could think of a topic to discuss like this one. One hit wonders. Draw a line under it, I think. Thank you very much, Jeff. This podcast will be posted to the usual platforms, Spotify being the main one, over the weekend or before, depending when Shaggy can get round to it. And of course, one day we will be on. I mean, we're on. We'll be on the BBC, won't we? Yeah,
will, definitely.
We'll be on the BBC. I mean, we're on Twitter now, live. We're on Facebook live, under wraps. But we're going to be on. Hopefully, we'll be on YouTube next week. It might be on YouTube next week as well.
Wow.
I mean, we're going up in the world, but we'll see. The I's have yet to be dotted and the T's to be crossed, but hopefully we'll be there. So all I got left to say is it's a good night from me.